Okay, so we had some technical issues there. Looks as though we are sorted. Just a quick sound check, make sure we're coming through this time round. I'm not quite sure what happened there. A bit of a glitch. We'll have a look into that. Quick sound check, make sure I'm coming through okay. Just had a rig count number out, which hasn't really affected WTI at all. Yeah, all good. Okay. Good. Thanks indeed. Well, I'm sure you've all heard enough of me today. I've been on quite a bit. What we're seeing, of course, is a bit of a bounce back in the dollar over the EU check. Only been half a pip. Yeah. On the euro dollar idea. Yep. We are. Well, we're just. We'll look at that in a second, shall we? So what we're seeing, seeing a bit of a bounce in the dollar now. We're coming into Friday night, so I'm not going to be forcing any trades now. I'll be pretty much done for the day in terms of what we're seeing. Next week, well, this week we've had big rallies in euro, big rallies in pound. I think now the market's really going to sit back and see how the pound fares into next Thursday. Next Thursday we've got the Super Thursday MPC. That's when the Bank of England meet. And foreign statements and so forth. So I think now the pound, although we have had a great rally, I'm not saying we should be picking tops, but I think we need some confirmation next week. Also some numbers out in the US next week, some retail sales numbers, some key data out there. Will these numbers be able to halt the dollar fall that we're seeing at the moment? All remains to be seen. But for now, I think we've seen pretty much the action for the week. In terms of what we're looking at, the dollar yen. Okay, coming back into the, if you are trading later today, then I think selling between 80 and 80.25. I don't think you're going to get stopped at above 80.25 tonight into Friday. Whether you make any money or not, I don't know, but I think that will be about the cap of it if we do have a rally up. Certainly up to 80.50. I'd be very surprised if we get back up to 80.50 now into the run up into the next 5 hours or so. Risk reward, more likely to trade this to the downside, possibly close back down to the low 107s. So for me, I'll tell you what it is. I am actually short a small amount of dollar yen at 108.05. I've got stops to break even now, and then I'm going to relieve my screens. I'm only doing that because I don't normally move stops to break even, as you know that quickly. But I'm going to be shutting off after the stream here and forgetting about it. I'm just going to let it run. If I get stopped out beforehand, and I'll look at it just before the close tonight. If I'm not stopped out, I'll take profits. Or I'll be stopped out for break even. I'm only 20 pips away now, so it's mostly likely I'll get stopped out for break even, but that's okay. But potential for next week, unless I see anything happen over the weekend, when we resume on Monday, I'm going to be continuing to play this to the downside, dollar yen, until I see anything significant to what me make me want to change that. As I say, pound now, it's run out of steam at the 1618 extension level at the 132. 18. This is coming back down. It could drift and trickle back down now into the close. But again, next week, into the run up to the MPC, I will still be looking to play this from the long side. Dollar CAD. 3 short trades. Probably hold it over the weekend. Yeah, I mean, I can't, it's up to you on that. It could gap. I mean, it's a big move in the dollar CAD. This I'm looking at LMG here. We've had a big move. Interesting enough, we talk about this a few times this week already. From the move to the low, from yesterday's high to today's low, we had a bounce, and we stalled at 121.52 before we rolled back over to 25. It's pushing up there again at the moment, but that's the 50% level. That's the next level of resistance to the upside. Not quite sure where you're short. Stops above 122.80, I guess, would be where you'd be looking to 120. 122.80 is a wide stop. But we've had a big move. I mean, this is like 350 pip move in the day in the 2.5 days this week. Big move. So I still like the short side. Whether you want to run it over the weekend, of course, that is entirely up to you. Is there something wrong with the mic, J Money? Am I repeat? Am I? Is it echoing? Are we echoing? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Aussie dollar. Okay, I think you've had the move for the week in Aussie dollar as well. That's fine. Coming back down as we trickle back down lower. I'm not advocating taking on fresh trades now, unless you want to trade it over the weekend. Of course, keep it over the weekend. This is a level. You know, looking back here, back to the peak here. This is 80.60 from a while back. This is a possible potential level. I would say, by looking at this, the naked eye, this is about a 50% pullback from the high from today. So you know, buying Aussie US dollar around these levels fits into my my strategy as well. Just be mindful over the weekend. It's highly likely you're going to see some North Korean activity over the weekend, and that should lead to selling of the yen crosses. Should see a push up in gold. Quite frankly, I think that rumour. I think that's the case of buy the rumour, sell the fact. I think that's in the market. Don't be going into the weekend, I would say, by thinking you're going to make money on a Monday because they're going to launch a missile on Saturday. I think that's in the market, and anyone that's positioning themselves that way, you could find yourself with a snapback on Monday, all things being equal, because there's an unwind of all those short positions that thinking the Forex market is easy. So do be mindful of that. The Forex market is not easy, and normally the Forex market is ahead of the game. So don't position yourself just short on the back of what we all expect to be a missile launch. And if there isn't a missile launch, then of course, then you could find the yen pairs catch a bid on Monday as well. Right, just round up. As I say, it's just a quick wrap. I'm not going through all the different pairs now. We've spoken enough about that today, and there's not a great deal of change. So if you haven't caught my streams earlier, you can play them back in the Forex TV place. You can check back all the streams, all the past streams, and so forth. Quite a good place to go if you've missed streams for various reasons, time zones, and so forth. Right, euro dollar. Okay, so we have been long euro dollar from this morning's stream. We were nicely on side. Missed our profit target. You may kick me if you wish by 12 pips, and I've rolled back now into the red. Okay, we missed our stop by 3 pips. Okay, so we're playing this one close to the shore. It could drift back down to stop loss levels. I'm leaving it in. If I get stopped, I get stopped. I'm not worried about it. I worry about it for you guys if you follow me, but and you placed your week's money on it, then shame on you for doing that for one thing. But I'm sorry if we do get stopped out for you guys, but it's not something that I'm concerned about. It's just one trade. I still like the trade, but I'm not going to run it over the weekend. And when I hit a stop, I hit a stop. Sure enough, if we hit take profits, we hit take profits. I'll be watching it from the cell phone somewhere else later around the house, but I'm not going to be sitting in the front of the screens watching this. It will do what it has to do. But we made some good money this week. We had one losing trade idea on the pound yen. We made some really good money on the euro CAD, and this one's pretty much at break even at the moment, give or take 10 pips. So in terms of trade ideas, it's been quite a good week. If you followed them, if you followed my chat in the room, I think we've been pretty spot on. But of course, that's all. They're not trade ideas. They're just chit chat. So I'm going to leave that there. Just have a quick scan to see if we've got any trade ideas, because I'm encouraging you to place trade ideas, and we're always going to look at them just to see what's going on. Put yourself here up in the lights. 4 hours ago, I think we discussed all these, haven't we? Yeah, we've discussed these. So there's no trade ideas since the lunchtime stream, which is disappointing. But I understand, because it's been quite a low volatility afternoon, and we've seen our action for the week. Back on Monday morning, bright and early. Joel will be on at 7 AM, then Sean, and then Tony, and then myself, and it's a whole fun-packed week of live streams as well. For those of you that haven't caught my earlier streams. Just a quick look here, new part of the room here, the global news stream. Great place now to check out all the latest news. No need to leave the site here. Everything's here. All the information you need to see of global news events is going to be posted here. Some live news. If you've got a particular feed you think is really cool, then let us know and we'll maybe add it on as well. And of course the podcast, you can check back. A cool video on from Steady Capture. Jason's interviewing the our MAM trader, very successful. Get inside the brains and the mind of a successful trader, controlling $16 million worth of account, which is quite a sizable account, to say the least. Right, so folks, I've got nothing really more to add than I've been saying from today and the lunchtime stream and the early morning stream or 9 o'clock stream. If you do have anything you want me to look at, do jot it in the window or send me a private message, and I will. I'll be periodically looking at it. If you want some advice over the weekend, before the weekend, all my thinking is just drop me a private message and I will attend to it. In the meantime, have a good weekend, folks, and we'll see you bright and early Monday morning to see if we can get back on the pit train. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.